Hello everybody, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey. Time for another super soulmate update. I'm really excited. I hope you guys all had a full moon eclipse that was of some note in a positive way. I know all the DMs and the messages I were getting that there were huge variations, and I experienced this as well. I went for a quick workout at the gym after, a day of working, and I don't know what happened, but it was like all of a sudden, like I had zero strength, energy, and vitality in my body right after that. Like I almost fell asleep in the car. I didn't even know if I was going to be able to drive home from the gym. It was the weirdest thing. So I do this trick when I'm really exhausted. I picture this white, like butterfly just coming down and being in front of me and beaming out this silver and gold light and energizing me, like flapping its wings on me and saying, you've got this, you can do anything, for 1 minute, for 2 minutes, for 3 minutes. And I just kind of like got geared back up and drove Hagen and I home. But it was like one of those things where we were having so much clearance and so much like palpitating energy and switch ups and upgrades and everything going on in our minds that it's like a lot of people just got absolutely exhausted. I was planning to go live too, and I actually put on my Instagram that I was going to attempt it, but I was totally cooked. So I definitely have that on my agenda in the next couple of days to get on there and come say hi to you guys and connect with you guys. So with this super soulmate update, I want you guys to remember your worth. Instead of believing our worth comes from somewhere out there, what if we start to believe our worth comes from within our own heart? We aren't just a walking group of numbers. We're not our weight. We're not our followers. We're not our bank account. We are real souls with real feelings, real relationships, and dreams. Your worth comes from everything that makes you, you. Your worth comes from within, your lovely, incredible self. Never forget that. Never give away that beautiful energy and attention to anybody that's not totally worthy of it. And that's why I wanted to do this soulmate reading, because you guys are starting to feel that. You're starting to feel your natural vibrancy, your worth. You're owning that. You're like, we're all unique. We're all different. You're stopping comparing yourselves to others because you realize it does zero good, and we're all in different journeys. And let me tell you what, something can look so beautiful from the outside, and it can be a totally different picture when the reality of that is. I remember at my most, where I looked my most dynamic and in my 20s, and everybody was like, wow, you must have the world at your feet. And I remember I just won this modeling contest, and I was in Beverly Hills going to do things. But for some reason, that's when I felt my emptiest. It was really bizarre. I just lost my father. I didn't quite know what I wanted. I was shoved in this environment that was highly materialistic, vacuous, grasping, and all of that. And I don't naturally, an empath, a healer, a light worker, doesn't fit into that groove very well, as you know. And I didn't have the understanding then that I have now, that you, in any situation, you can make it your own beautiful environment. But I didn't have the practices and mindset I have now. And now it's so funny, having hit my 50s, I feel so calm, and like I absolutely cherish every little thing that comes my way. It doesn't have to be some big win where you're like, oh, well, I have this, that, and the other. Matters little. It matters how I treat others, how I'm able to help and grow with others, things of that nature. So you guys, I'm very excited. We're going to have 3 cards to choose from, and I have beautiful stones to go with it. I remember when I made my first batch of Burmese rough ruby bracelets, they just flew out in the same day. So I made some more, and you can also ask if these sell out. Usually right after they're in a video, they're gone, but I can always make more and get some quite soon. Now my person is able to get them to me within 2 weeks, so I can make more, and I have some large ones. So number 1 is Lastra New Beginnings, and I made these are Burmese faceted rubies, and I just have them with pretty rhinestone spheres. And I give extra chain because I like for people to have different lengths. It goes between like 6 and 8 inches, so you have some good choices in terms of if you want it loose, if you want it tight, all of that. And then we have Metis, which is wisdom, and I got in some more of these beautiful Austrian fire crystals that they actually make diamonds look pretty sad. They're so illustrious, and they come with 2 different types of silver chain. They just catch the light, and they send out a huge prism. They're amazing. Oh, I'm sorry, they are called Austrian fire topazes, and I just love white topazes because there's something that it's like they can be any color that's around and take that in. Blues and blues of the sky, greens of the grass, and it reflects. They're unbelievable. As you can see, it doesn't look like a little fire burning in there. That's why they're called fire topazes. And then we have iris, which is number 3, and that is communication. And then we have little silver elephants, and with these Burmese rubies. I have a thing for elephants. They're one of my absolute favorite animals. I love them. They're so wonderful and noble, and I love everything about them. Okay, so let me zoom in here. I'm going to really zoom and put that on. I'm trying to avoid the cats, and sometimes they bounce around. It makes a tripod bounce, but I'm like, whatever, people. I don't know what this person is doing. And you guys, I want to give a shout out to my friend Haley, who just started her own channel today. I was very excited for her. She sent me her first video. And I've got to tell you guys, as you know, when we first start anything, we feel a little nervous and we feel like, you know, unsteady. And I think it's important to, you know, get support. Always ask people that you know are going to love and support you in any endeavor. And it's a nice feeling, because then you feel fortified in, you know, your abilities and everything. And always believe in yourself and go out there and get whatever it is that you're looking for. Okay, you guys, we're going to have all kinds of details. We're going to have their zodiac. We're going to have when you're going to meet them. We're going to have personality, what they could possibly be employed as, really rich details. So I'm very excited. So we're going to start with number 1, which is Lustra, from New Beginnings. So let's see 2. I have a theory. First, I want to see. So mystery. So this person has a beautiful, mysterious quality to them. They're one of those types of people where it's like right away you want to get to know them. They have almost like an aristocratic, very individualistic type of behavior, like not dismissive or rude, but very kind of elevated and very selective, very almost sensitive and withdrawn. But they're very dramatic as well. They don't seem self-absorbed or temperamental, but they are very mysterious in that regard. It's like, you know, it's somebody that's excelled or had a very kind of interesting upbringing. You know what I mean? Like that type of air. I definitely feel that energy coming around. So let's see what they could possibly be doing as... Oh, that makes sense. Authority figure. Again, I feel like this person could be a judge. I feel like this person could be a police officer. I feel like whatever they are, I feel like they come from a background where they had sort of like a rich and posh upbringing, very elegant. But, you know, they are an everyday person. They can relate to everybody. They have charm. They're quite a maverick in their family. I definitely feel like they might come from a long lineage of something that has to do with law. So perhaps a judge, police officer. I feel like it's higher up there. But they carry this authority with them. So people are very quick to respond in that way, you know, not like subservience, but they're almost like this person has power. They feel dominating. They feel very decisive and self-confident, and it's really quite interesting too. So we're going to pull 2 choices of cards. Now this makes sense to me in both regards. This is my best friend and my husband, and they carry themselves with this like, I know what's going on. I got this. Let's do it. Aquarius, beautiful, dreamy, professional type of people. You know, they are realists, as are Capricorns. They kind of have this beautiful, this is, you know, dreamy, idealist, reformer, advocate type of thing. And Jeannie is, she does all kinds of remarkable stuff like that. They're very success orientated and pragmatic, very adaptable. They like to excel. They're also image conscious, both of them. They like clean, crisp sort of outfits and clothes. They like to look put together. Their hair is always groomed, things of that nature. Very true, 100%. Let's get a time frame for this, because again, look at that. So 3 months. So many things are coming in. I feel like March is a crazy, crazy month for things coming in too. And this is why it's already January, but I feel like this is going to be the tail end of March, or something that's occurring in March that is so substantial cosmically to be conducive for these love connections. I feel like it's giving people time to gear up, have the self-confidence, the fortitude to know, you know, they're already worthy. They already have everything they need. They've achieved what they need. They, you know, they're innovative. They're having a good, engaging time with life. So their vibrations are up and you guys are feeling really good. So let's see what else is happening. For a personality trait: passionate, adventurous, self-assured, and restless. A sudden event that needs immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. I feel like this is more the description of their personality. And this is how they think, because they're so sort of success orientated. They're like, I need to do this. Like Capricorns are famous for this, as are Aquariuses. Listen, I have a to-do list and I'm not mucking about. I'm getting this done. Very interesting, very intense and cerebral, I feel. They're busy, yet they are fun loving. I love the fact Aquariuses are quite unique in that they love to travel. They love to see things that are going on. They love to experience and do things in a really cool way. So let's get some initials here. So they can be RM or MR. And again, remember, you guys, this is for a huge collective, for thousands and thousands of people. So take what resonates. There can be one or two things that aren't exactly in this kind of soulmate pie, because every last little detail when you do for a collective doesn't work as closely as if it's for a personal read. So I have RM and MR. So, Mark, Mary, Roger. I'm like really... it's funny how I'm picturing these people walking around, and it's the authority in their walk is like so amazing. They're very powerful and self-confident. It's a really nice thing. However, they're still easygoing and like self-effacing. They love life and they love people. They look so crisp and put together, yet they're mysterious and aloof with that kind of aristocratic, like, I'm okay over here, in my own sort of cerebral world, that it's mystifying how interesting and wonderful they are. Also, not to mention that beautiful authoritarian, I know what's going on, everybody, you better just fall in line type of thing, right? Sometimes it's nice to have that person that is going to have their act together, and they're fearless, right? I am very respectful of people that are fearless. My mother was like that too. If there was any kind of emergency or jeopardy in any which way or form, like someone was choking or drowning or whatever, my mom was like the first one on the scene, and she never hesitated. And it was crazy because I'm really lucky that I got that too. Like when crap goes down, I gear up. Like that's all I see is like how to solve that. And she used to do that too, and I was always like, whoa. Some people panic and freeze, and just some people go into action. It's that type of thing, and they definitely have that type of energy. Like, if somebody was looking a little shifty, they would be like, excuse me, sir, ma'am, could I talk to you for a moment? You know what I mean? Or that first one to anticipate something going on. So wow, group one, that is beautiful. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below if you need a private read. If you want to go to my Etsy store and check out all my handcrafted goodies, my rings, everything's in there. And I'm going to finish up the necklace that matches this. It's so stunning. It's like 3 or 4 tiers, and I just got a lovely clasp for it because I like those little extra touches on things that touch of elegance. Like if you have a little chain and then you have like a little diamond attached to the end of a necklace at the end that goes down your back, those little touches. So I wanted to make it really, really elegant. So everything is in there for you guys. Congratulations. Very powerful, good energy. Again, I feel like this person is like an iconoclast. They're like a problem solver. They're genius. They help you move through your life with ease. They're, you're beautifully suited together, and you're going to notice that once you set eyes on one another. So beautiful. So now we're on to number 2, which is Metis, wisdom. This is funny because right away when I saw this card, oh, of course you got that mind. Yeah, I feel like this person builds or teaches or figures stuff out. They're very they're very gifted in that. And I love the 3 card because I feel like they are versatile. They're very acquisitive. They're receptive to what you want to say. They're not complacent or lazy in life. Like they want to know things. They want to explore, but they kind of have this idealistic, fun attitude of a reformer, of an advocate for, women's health and animals and all of that. Like their mind is always going how to resolve issues, in the world, big stuff. Oh, I love this intelligent, decisive, idealistic, and tireless. Yeah, absolutely idealistic. They look at events that are going around and they're like, how can I help this? They are very demonstrative. I feel like they excel in life, whatever they're doing. Again, fun, dramatic type of personality, responsible, busy. They like to keep busy, but like in a fun-loving way. They like to really get involved. Willful as well. I feel like there's no telling this kind of personality type, no, that's probably not a good idea. That sort of thing. So I'm just going to pull 2 of these fell out, spouse and arts. Again, I'm getting the arts. I'm getting high amount of musicians for these soulmates are coming in. And some of it is so funny because it's like some of you guys doubt this. They're like, whoa, no, this person is actually famous, or this person is actually super on their way up. Or this person is well known. How could this possibly be? I'll tell you what, I can't even remember the amount of people I met in a couple years that were super famous, and I didn't meet them at their venues. I met them on the street. I met Bono and Larry Mullen when I was walking down the street in Boston with Jeannie. They were getting leather coats for a show. I met Ozzy Osbourne in the elevator at one of, I don't even remember what hotel we were at in Vegas, and he forgot his wallet and he was laughing because he's like, I need money to go gamble. I met Brian Adams at the chiropractor. He was on one of the heat packed tables next to me. It was the craziest thing. Just over and over, just like, who is that guy? He actually lives in Stanford as well, and I absolutely adore him. It'll come to me. He sings all like the love songs and everything. Walked into a club across from our restaurant, and he was in there, and Michael Bolton, yeah, and just have conversations with these people. So it is not that out of the park. I mean, when it's meant to be, and everybody is human, so they're out doing things. They're walking in the streets. They're eating in restaurants. They're doing things. It's like one of those things, and I feel like this person has super spontaneous, versatile energy. Like, let's go do this. Yeah. And again, I see you guys getting married almost immediately. It's one of those things where, boom, we're in love. We'll see you later, world. It's one of those things where seriously, they want to almost like elope with you right away. So let's see what two possibilities we also have. We have Cancer and we have Taurus. I love both of these signs in that Cancer is a super dreamy, like thinker. They're one of those people where they're idealists. They want to see the perfect world. That's probably where their lyrics come from. I mean, if there's painting involved with, that's what they paint about, the environment, things like that. They feel very, very deeply. They're probably the most emotionally rich people out there. They really are. And it can fluctuate as well. I mean, they can go right in their shell and be like, me no talkie today. Or they're completely effusive and they want to talk about every emotion they've ever had in 1 minute. And it's very sweet. It's very connective. They're so loving. They love hugs. They love these expressions of love. It's really beautiful. Taurus, I love Tauruses that do, when their language of love is acts of service. I love it. Like, well, they're just at the store and they get you little things or they cook for you. Taurus are funny because they can be fun little homebodies and they love to just be with you, but they like to play the host and hostess a little time. They're a little possessive. Again, they're gonna they want to go investigate the world with you. You find them so engaging and lovely and committed and powerful and just lovely, and again, they're the dreamer. They're also like, this whole thing, they're like the enthusiasts for life. They want to be busy. They're spontaneous. They have a lot of versatility. They're like the investigators of everything. Let's go see what's going on. Like they want to explore and they want to expand in life. They don't want a small existence. Okay, let's see what's going on in terms of time. Ooh, so we have 4 months. So the cauldron. So March, it can be April or May because we're sort of mid-month. And I feel like, again, it's just one of those things where it's like just this combustible moment where somebody's like, hey, by the way, so-and-so, this is whatever. Or you go into, it's a completely spontaneous thing. It's not pre-planned. You walk into them. They are attracted to you. In fact, they initiate the conversation because I feel like out of fear or you thinking, oh, I'm not going to go talk to that person. It's basically a famous person. Like you're almost in awe. They come to you. They put you at ease. So let's try to get some initials here too. We have D and we have S. Again, this is the one when I'm reading for a huge collective. This is the one that if anything might not resonate. It might be the fact that because it's such an expansive thing is the initials. But I love it because it can be the one or both can be the first or second name. It can be in the name of their group. It has something, a letter is substantial in that. It doesn't have to be that they are David, they are David Smith or whatever, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. But sometimes for a very select few whose energy really resonates at this end, it can be that exact thing. Okay, so these letters are very dynamic within their scope. So I'm very excited for you, group 2. That is exciting. Remember, you never know what life is holding for you, what's going to come up. what pops into the sphere. Like I said, I mean, I remember in just a couple years running into like 5 or 6 very famous people and just saying, hey, I'm going to your concert. Bono was one of the nicest people in the world. I was like, we're going to your concert tomorrow in Connecticut. And he's like, oh, I have to make sure I play good for you girls. Meanwhile, Jeannie's there, and I thought her legs were going to give way. But it was hilarious because people are people, and it's like they're happy if you love what they love. Like I was in the waiting room the other day and someone goes, are you Melanie? And I go, yeah. And she's like, I listen to your videos. And it was so crazy because it's my hometown. And I was like, what are the odds? And she goes, it was your voice. You were speaking and I knew it was you by your voice. And I was like, that's crazy. And it's fun when people recognize you and then, you get to connect with them on that level, right? So beautiful energy, you guys. Love and light to you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe. And all my links are down below. If you want a private read and you want more tiny details and all of that, everything is down there in the Goddess Provisions box, my Etsy store. Thank you for my new patrons that joined this weekend. I really appreciate you help, support my card addiction, because otherwise I would live in a cardboard box with just decks of tarot. And thanks again, Nina, for buying me those beautiful 3 decks. I adore them. There's some artwork. I feel like it expands my repertoire of understanding, because a lot of the books that come with oracle decks and tarot decks, they create a type of atmospheric learning to, okay, let's think more about this like Celtic folklore and how this worked and so on and so forth. It's very expansive. It's like storytelling time. And also it lets you know from all different perspectives. So it's really great to have a big library of different cards, because each one does have a different sort of power and resonance with me as well. I've got to say, one of the most powerful decks I've ever handled and I use all the time is Ellen Dugan's Witches Tarot. That was one of my first decks I got, and it has flippers. They fly out all the time, and you just get really concise, beautiful answers for that. So now we're on to number 3, which is Iris and Communication and the elephants with the Burmese rubies. So 22, I feel like 2s are going to be your number 2, you guys. That's going to be one of your things. 222s, they're going to pop up for you. There are lots of numbers, symbols, birds, and all of these things that are this synergy and the synchronistic numbers and things that pop up for us when our soulmates are coming in. First, right away, I want to pull a personality trait on them. Page of Air, logical, honest, impulsive, curious. Right away, I heard faithful when I started doing this group 3. I was hearing very faithful. Somebody that is absolutely authentic. You know where you stand all the time. They're not, where's the grass greener? Who can I look at, ogle, and go try to get with? It is, you are their one. And you know that from the moment you meet. You know right away that everything falls into monogamy, and the relationship is just like instantly certified. It's one of those things you're not second guessing, like, oh, they are making it abundantly clear what is what. So let's see what we have for some zodiac signs. Aries, passionate. I have to say, Aries is probably the most passionate romantic sign that there is. I don't know what it is about an Aries person where it is like they are all in, and they are so like, they're loyal, they challenge you, they are very individualistic, they can be sensitive and withdrawn at times, they can be very expressive and dramatic at other times. It's really funny. They're very helping, they're caring, they're very demonstrative, they're very generous. They also have this kind of like wonderful radical performance type of thing in them. If they're chefs, if they're martial artists, if they're whatever, they're very demonstrative and elegant in their whatever they do, expressive, and it's amazing. I feel that it's hypnotic, like, to watch them. So that's awesome. And Virgo, again, just really like the achiever in a really big way, self-assured, attractive, charming, ambitious, competent, energetic. They can be a little status conscious, but that part of that is because they've achieved it. So why shouldn't they have these finer things in lives? Because they've worked for it, right? I never, ever, ever think poorly because somebody likes labels, or I don't love people wearing fur coat, but I don't like this stuff with fur, but whatever would be you know, status symbols, Chanel, whatever, if they like really nice things. I feel like if people work for them, you ever have that when you were a teenager, like one day I'm going to have a Chanel lip gloss, right? Or one day I'm going to have whatever it is, a pair of, you know, really nice Ralph Lauren boots, or I'm going to have this and that. And then, you know, you have the monetary wherewithal to get that, and you cherish it because you're like, I remember wanting to be able to get, like, I remember the epitome of awesomeness when I was younger was, I don't know why, but I was obsessed with Lancome. I loved like the eye makeup remover and the blue canisters. I just loved the elegance and the counters and all of that. And I was like, ooh, I'm going to get that when I get older. You know what I mean? That type of thing. And then it's funny, as you get older, you know that, you know, you want good quality things. And sometimes it does come at a cost as well. You know, and again, this person is very loyal and devoted. Now let's see what they're possible. They can be in transportation. This can mean they're pilots. There's something in there. They could be people that are, they have something to do with it, the construction of things. They can be people that design the interior of things, of, you know, luxury jets, things like this, something to do with that. Or they absolutely have a beautiful, deep love of it. So it becomes a hobby, whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be trains, but it is something that it's incorporated. They could make the laws behind it, like Ian's dad worked for the Joint Aviation Authority, so he made the laws of what planes could fly, things like that, you know, in the government structure of it as well. Very interesting. Let's get some initials for this person. So we have N and G. So G and N and G. And again, I'm going to let everybody know that because this is for a huge collective, every last thing isn't going to resonate. So oftentimes I find the initials are the ones that can differ probably the greatest, because it could be just letters in their name. There are sometimes things that are exactly on point, but again, when it's for thousands and thousands of people, you really need a private read for things to be more exacting. But let's get a time frame for this too. So 3, you guys, this was the quickest grouping all together as a collective. I think we had 2, 3, and 4 months that they're coming. I saw March as being an absolutely crazy substantial time for people. There's something that was generated with this eclipse, full moon, the changing of the century, all of that kind of integrated this beautiful age of Aquarius, simplification of coming from our spirit, our heart place, and elevating hugely spirituality wise, and leaving behind the ego that opened these floodgates for these soulmates, because it's like a purifying essence of what you're really looking for. And again, the universe loves a decision. I have decided I don't care about all this garbage going on. I care about this. I care about love. I care about, you know, having great intentions for myself and the world and helping and healing. Therefore, the universe is like, let's get on this. It's time to go. Okay. So yeah, I feel like it's time for a really adventurous, passionate type of energy coming. So again, let's see what kind of energy else is coming in with this. Let me see. I want to pull one more card and see what's going on. Ooh, look at this. So we have the 8 of fire. This is significant in that I feel like events are moving at a fast pace. Delays are over. Many things are happening at once. So yeah, I was hearing jobs and this and that. So some of you guys that are unhappy with your jobs, you're just going, goodbye. I value myself and my time. This is not for me. I am not going to sit here and suffer all these fools around me and work for people that don't respect or value my work. So some of you guys are, you know what, this environment, this town, this whatever, not really for me anymore. I'm looking for pastures new, even if it's like bordering towns or whatever. You feel that fresh vibrancy coming with motion and movement and distance. So that's something that's coming up as well. I feel like this is like a complete overhaul for a lot of you guys, where you're like, I need a new locale, I need a new job. You know, my soulmate's coming in, got to brush up on my skills. And there are people around that are going to help you. They are caring, helping people. They are people that want to show, you know, their love for you, and they're going to assist you in a lot of ways. It's just really, really good. And I feel like, you know, this person that's coming into, they're a complete individualist. Like, these are people, they get ideas and they start on them right away. They're like, oh, excuse me, I have to go to the art store and go get these. And they'll just start building a fence. They'll just start building an easel. It's like one of those things where they're inspired, but they are loyal to you. They're enthusiastic about life. You know, they challenge things. They are not a sheeple. You know, they're not sheep people that just go, oh yeah, sure, whatever. I'm just, yeah, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, whatever. You know, no, they're like really insightful, and they have rich, unique ideas that are their own, and they're like, no, this is what we're doing. This is what's happening, you know. But it keeps you on your toes, and you love it because they challenge you. You get happy. I feel like you're getting more and more intuitive too, right? You're going to process ideas, impressions, and connections really easily. And you're going to use your imagination in a way that helps you solve things really quickly with ease right now, because your perception is awesome. You're going with the flow. You're planning on the go. You have great, flexible, relaxed commitments where you could take it or leave it. You're just doing what feels natural when it feels natural to do it, right? You're not being pressured into anything anymore. I just feel like you're really going for it. You have this beautiful sensing energy that says, okay, let's be practical and logical and realistic. If we've entered this sphere before and it didn't work, why would we re-enter it, right? I read this thing today and I thought it was so genius. It was saying, don't re-invite people into your life that caused havoc and heartbreak and all of that. Just because you're thirsty, you don't drink poison, right? And I saw that and I was like, that's so right, because people all of a sudden have this clearance. Then there's this void and they're like, oh, I don't know this void. No, you know, there's no person in my life. What am I going to put in there? Oh, let me call George. He'll be great. Yeah. And it was like, no, what did George do in the past that you're no longer with him? Oh yeah, that's right. He cheated. He stole your mother's 401k. He ran over your cat. He, whatever, you know what I mean? People are like, this void I have to fill. Absolutely not. You are much more sensible about that. You know what's arriving. You know it's arriving in this beautiful natural flow that is coming and divinely guided. So you're patient and happy with that. You're in no rush. You understand that, you know, 3 months is not such a big time gap. So I'm loving this energy for you. Woo! Very nice. And again, attracting love like nobody's business. You know, you're going to just be like, you know, honey to the bees right now with this elevation. You are like the law of attraction. You're attracting everything, you know, multiple suitors, all these people, but you can sort through them. You have this kind of x-ray vision and extra gear in your head that says, not for me. No, 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 no. And then you're like, check, bazong. In comes your, you know, Bob the Builder, and you're off and running. So beautiful energy, group 3. I love that for you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Don't forget to press like and subscribe, and all my links are down below. I love that, Aries. I am. That's perfect for Aries because they are like, I'm here. They're great leaders, like substantial great leaders. They don't doubt themselves, or at least never on the surface. It's wonderful. I'm loving that energy for you, group 3. Beautiful. If you're new to my channel, your numbers are definitely going to be 22. Don't forget that like-o and subscribe-o. I want to thank everybody for participating. If you want to come get in on all the contests, if you just follow me on Instagram, which is Sparkrist11, you're in on all the giveaways, all the chakra stones, all the free reads, everything, jewelry, all the stuff that I'm doing and offering. January is the great giveaway, and I want to give back to you guys. And it's a great format because then I can just see you, DM you, and it's quicker to be able to exchange information. So again, you guys, I'm going to go upload. Very exciting time for you. Love and light.